Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within every woman lives a goddess. A celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time. Only here on USA, Global TVR, and Radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio and our new program, Iconic Women. And you may have seen in the video, this was actually inspired as a result of my being asked to participate in the Women of Wealth magazine, where I gave a presentation on how to be a world-class broadcaster at the Watergate Hotel. And I earned an award as one of the top global women icons. And so I thought to myself, what an incredible event it was. And there are so many women out there who are iconic. Let's have them come forward and share more about their lives and how they view being iconic, and also how they feel about the Greek goddesses and which one they most relate to. So today we have a guest who was here a little while ago on our judgment program, which I absolutely love when people come back. Her name is Tricia Copeland, and she is an iconic woman, which is why I invited her to attend the show today. She has her own podcast, and we were just talking backstage that it's so successful and going so well that there's so much demand that she can't keep up with it and has to set some boundaries, which we do as iconic women. We have to set boundaries for ourselves to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and we have our me time. She's also an author, and she's written over 20 different novels. She's won many, many awards. And she is here today to talk about her story of being iconic. Let's welcome Tricia to the show. Hi there.
Hi, Jacalyn. Thank you for having me. I feel so honored.
Thank you so much for being here. You definitely have made an impression on me and so many others. And of course, you have an amazing backstory that you've shared before on our programs. And I just really feel this strength that you have, and you're also very compassionate. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jacalyn. I have loved being on all your shows and can't wait to dive in with you.
Well, let's first talk about Greek goddesses. Okay, there are Roman goddesses, there are Greek goddesses. I'm sure there's more types of goddesses, but goddesses were people, are people that lived at a certain period of time, and people look up to them for certain reasons. They represent certain attributes and certain qualities. And so before the show, I had just asked you if there's any of the Greek goddesses, and let me just share what they are for people who are interested. Aphrodite, that one is pretty well known, goddess of love, beauty, and desire. Athena, goddess of wisdom, strategy, and war. Artemis, goddess of the hunt, the moon, and childbirth. Hera, queen of the gods, goddess of marriage and family. Demeter, I hope I'm saying that right, goddess of agriculture, harvest, and fertility. Hestia, goddess of the hearth, home, and domesticity, and Persephone, queen of the underworld, goddess of spring and renewal. So when I asked you if one of them resonates with you, you said yes right away. What did you say?
Well, and I don't think I picked one on your list, but my fairy princess turn queen, Titania, from the Realm Chronicles series that starts with To Be a Fae Queen. The fairies are very aligned with the goddesses and the Greek goddesses in particular. So she has 3 goddesses that come to her in her dreams and talks to them. And one of them is Bia. And Bia is the goddess of force and raw energy. And I feel like that most aligns with my persona, because the question I'm most asked is, when do you sleep? Because I own a professional business, I own a publishing business, I host a podcast, I write my own novels, and I don't really sleep that much. So I feel like a goddess of force and raw energy is just kind of captivates all of that, everything that's going on in my brain most of the time. And I have all these ideas, and most of the time I need outlets to refine them into actual things that can come into the world looking like a decent product.
Thank you for sharing that. And what I really see and I feel from you is this energy, this passion, this drive. Do you think that they are attributes of iconic women?
Oh, definitely. I think probably anything that gets promoted in the world is something that you're probably passionate about. I think people resonate with that. They see that if their passions, their values, their goals align with that passion of yours, then they're going to be drawn to you. So yeah, I don't see doing something so big like being an author or being a podcast host unless you're passionate about it.
And by the way, that's such an important point. When people are not passionate about what they're doing, especially if they're in broadcasting or podcasting, we can tell. I mean, you could watch a network station where somebody's been on there for 40 years. You can tell at some point they're maybe tired. And I'm not saying that just in general, because we just had a show before this. We were talking about ageism, and people are working into their 80s and past and excited about it, as opposed to there was a certain time when you had to retire. So you have a ton of energy, you love what you're doing, and you're putting your creative passion into so many different areas. But at the core, I feel it's all part of being iconic, being memorable, being someone that people look up to, that they want to spend time with.
Well, I hope so. I have a lot of ideas about things that make people iconic, I guess. And my word for that might be magic, because that's what kind of I share in my podcast and in my books, is that magic within each of us that we can share with the world and enlighten the world, inspire the world, and just make the world a better place with. So I'm putting in magic for iconic.
Well, you know what I really like, what's standing out for me when you mentioned about a fairy. So when I think of a fairy, I think of this special gifted being that has these wings and can fly anywhere, and maybe has a wand that can do something to help someone or bring some joy. As opposed to the goddesses, I think of them as, I even feel like there's a masculine side to the goddesses, right? Because we have female and we have male energy. And I like the idea of putting them together, because I know for myself, I'm usually in my masculine energy. And I think that's part of the reason why I have my long nails, because that's my feminine energy. It's always to remind myself, you are definitely a woman and you have feminine energy. So can you see any connection, intersection between fairies and goddesses, or do you think they're mutually exclusive?
I think they can be connected. I mean, definitely my fae and my fairies, especially Queen Titania, she has a strength and power of her own. She's lost 4 of her brothers, and she's the only one to take her family's crown. So she's trained in swordsmanship and archery, and plans to take over her kingdom and lead her kingdom and help her people be prosperous and peaceful. So she definitely has that raw, powerful energy, and aura about her, I guess. And she prays to the Greek goddesses. They pray to the goddesses as part of their spirituality or religion, and the goddesses come to her in her dreams. So obviously the goddesses have decided she's someone important that we need to be helping. So those are very much aligned in my mind, and maybe all types of spirituality. Oh my goodness, spirituality are aligned in my mind. So I feel like anything that brings you positive energy, that brings you hope or inspiration, can be that goddess-like presence in your life.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And I think also when we think about the roles of goddesses and the roles of fairies and the roles of iconic women, certain people, certain things come to mind, but we also sometimes need something tangible. And I know last night, it has nothing to do with this show, but maybe it does. I actually went and bought myself a tiara, and it's coming. It's handmade by a company called Trina Tarantino. And I've been wanting it for a long time. And I thought, when you put it on, like if you're on a podcast or TV, we could actually get away with this, right? I'm not going to be walking down the street with it, but it's that feeling of, you know what, wow, I can feel this special power as it is. But yet in real life, with the crown on or not, whether it's symbolic or, you know, it's just you're figurative, we have a role, which is to inspire and to lead by example. And that's what you're doing. And so with all the authors who are out there, you really are separated from them because you've won so many awards. And I'd love to have you just share with us, how did your journey as an author start to go in a new path when you realized that you were really talented and getting awards?
Right. Well, I'm not sure I still think of myself that way, but I always feel honored by all the awards. And to me, it just really means that more people are going to see my book, and hopefully more people are going to find it and resonate with my characters, because I feel like these characters really show what it's like to maybe struggle in some areas of your life, whether it's with mental health or anxiety or fitting in the world, or just not sure what you want to do. But then throughout challenges, coming to realize that you have this special gift or power within, in whatever area it may be, and that you can ignite change. So that's really my message. And with most of my characters, I want to say, in different areas of their life. So, and I think they're really fun stories too. And I love getting feedback from readers who just want to talk about my characters, and I could do that all day. But, you know, really that's what it means for me, is that I get to share my work with more people.
Thank you so much, Tricia. At the beginning of the show, I talked a little bit about setting a boundary. And so I'm wondering, as goddesses, you know, if you think about the goddesses and maybe some movie that we saw, maybe even Cleopatra, there has to be some time for self-care, because everybody's looking to you, right? Everyone's like, oh, what's the next thing? Or what are we supposed to do? So what are some of the things that you do for self-care that really help fuel your creative energies?
Right. I have a routine, and if it doesn't happen, then I don't feel as good during my day. I love getting up and exercising first thing in the morning. That gets my adrenaline going, and it gets my head sort of, maybe all the squirrely ideas that are going through it, a little more focused. Maybe it's just like get that physical energy out, and then I can focus on my work. So I get up, I usually run in the morning, and then I'm ready to start my work day, and can be more, I guess, regimented about that work day when my mind's not jumping all over the place. So yeah, and then I like having my evenings and weekends free. I schedule some podcasts in the evenings when people can't get their schedules to match up. But definitely on weekends, I prefer to have family time and me time and friend time. So setting all those boundaries helps me just, I think, be better when I am on or doing interviews or creating my writing, or what am I doing for my company.
you've mentioned that you are so passionate about many different areas, which really at the core, I think, come under creativity. And I see surrounding, you've got some photographs and you've got a picture. And so they're also creative outlets as well. Where do you see yourself going with this creative journey?
I love writing. I was in a lull. I just finished one series that was sort of a 10-book crossover series. And I was struggling to find my next inspiration. I think I found it for my next story, my next novel. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I love writing. And for, a minute, I thought, maybe I could do something else. But right now, I don't think so. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. I think, I love drawing. No, I can't draw. I should say that. I like coloring other people's drawings. And that kind of just relaxes me and brings me into more and more of a like relaxed state, I think sometimes.
Which is really necessary, right? We have to refuel so we can even figure out what it is we're going, what's our next step. And I was talking a little bit earlier about the masculine and the feminine energy. And so, as I've stated, my masculine is always pretty much more dominant than my feminine. How do you balance the two if you do?
Yeah, I kind of see them as in the same light. I have 3 kids, so I like to think of myself as a nurturing person, and I tend to think of them first when I'm thinking about priorities or people that are most important in my life. My family is very important to me, but also I tend to be a go-getter and I want to achieve in my business. And I guess that's part of my I would say my masculine energy. I like to, I was at a party this weekend and tattoos everybody doesn't love tattoos, but some people do. And this one guy, and probably I'll be embarrassed if he listens to this. But anyway, he's like, oh, I have this one tattoo. He's so proud of his tattoo. And then I was like, okay, I have on too many clothes because it's too cold outside. I can't show you all my tattoos. But there was this little bit of me that just wanted to one-up him. Like, really, you have one tattoo? So maybe that's my masculine energy coming through, or ego or pride a little bit. And that's fine sometimes. You need to be proud of what you do.
Absolutely. So that was your competitive side, and you wanted to basically say, oh, one tattoo, check out what I have. So would you share with us, what do your tattoos mean for you? Or do they all represent a story, or are they basically you saw something and you thought, wow, this is pretty. I want to have this on me, or they mean something significant?
Yeah, they all mean something significant. I got my first tattoo, this sparrow, which is symbol for my first book series, the Being Me book series, which was a fictional retelling of my experience overcoming anorexia. So that's a 4-book series. So I have that one. I have one tattoo that honors a friend of mine who was lost to breast cancer. I have another tattoo who honors a friend of mine that was lost to COVID-19. I have many tattoos, honoring my sister, and then my family all decided to get a B. So 4 of us got a B, which was really special to me. So yeah, I have different family members as well as, and I honor them in different ways, just things that symbolize their lives to me, and hopefully that they look down on or look at me and say, oh, thank you for remembering me. So yeah.
That's beautiful. It really is. I don't have any tattoos, but I started watching Ink Master during the pandemic, and I had so much respect for what actually goes into tattoos that I started interviewing people. And I started a book, but I never finished it. The book was called Behind the Ink, and so it's basically what are the stories that people share. So. But that's a story for another day. So you are a successful podcaster, and obviously our role when we're podcasting is we want to have the guests feel like a hero. How do you help your guests find their inner goddess?
Right. Well, I interview authors about their books and about their stories. So I'm not asking them to tell me about how they wrote. I mean, sometimes a little bit about how they wrote their story, but maybe so that readers can find them in their books and see if they might be interested in reading their books. So the it's awesome because even the most introverted reader, when they start talking about their characters or the books, come alive. And that's so fun to see because many of us authors tend to be on the more introverted side, I want to say, as a whole, and especially indie authors who maybe aren't as exposed to media as some other like bigger authors are. But it is so much fun to just see them start to talk about their worlds and their characters and why they wrote this book and what they're going to do next. So I hope that that energy comes across in my podcast.
And the beautiful thing is that you're giving people an opportunity to share their work. And it sounds like it's a collaborative space instead of a competitive space. And that's one thing I really admire about the author community. And we've discussed this before, but how people are in the author community are so supportive of one another. Whereas in other industries, it's really kind of cutthroat where you would never bring on somebody who's in the same space as you.
Right. I mean, a book is so individual. Every book is so individual. So no book is going to be the same, even if it has like, oh, this is like an action hero book. I mean, everybody has a different take on action heroes or superheroes and or witches or vampires or whatever, love stories, whatever you're talking about. Every story is different and every author is going to come at that from a different perspective. So I feel like the author community is amazing, up from like I've hosted wonderful, like what I consider A-list authors down to, you know, authors, the teenage authors who are just starting out, who, you know, are the hugest inspirations to me.
You know, it's interesting. What I've found about being an author, I think I've written 25 or 26 books. I just had a book come out recently, is that for me, I'm not doing it to get rich because I certainly am not getting rich from writing books. I can tell you that much. But when I have one person reach out to me and say, I actually learned something from what you wrote, that to me is an incredible gift. So the reason that I write and I publish is because I want to bring education around listening. So if you had to sum up in just a couple of sentences, the main reason why you write and your legacy, what would you want it to be?
It would be inspiration and helping people find their inner strength and inner power and see that, you know, whatever creativity, whatever gift, whatever thing that you like is something valuable. I think when I was younger, definitely in that teenage to, you know, young, new adult age, that I didn't see a lot of my qualities as being valuable or something that can contribute to the world. So I want to always hope and help people feel that whatever their strengths and qualities are, is that they are valuable and they're amazing and magical.
Inspiration is key. And if you could invite someone from the past, doesn't have to be a goddess, but someone who was on this earth or maybe still on this earth to actually collaborate in a future book or book series with you, who would it be?
I think it would be Mother Teresa. I would be so honored to meet her. I think she did so many amazing things in her life and touched so many people in such a warm way that it would just be amazing to meet her.
And I really appreciate you sharing that about Mother Teresa. Would you bring anyone in for this fictional, this opportunity we're talking about? Would you bring anyone in to work with the two of you who had a set of skills when it comes to writing or editing or publishing or marketing that you'd like to learn from?
Oh, wow. There are probably many people that would help me do a better job on like a memoir or an autobiography or a nonfiction piece because I tend to be very fictional and up in my head and imagine more fictional worlds than, you know, hard, true to life worlds. So I think there would probably be many people who could help me with that. Maybe you could, Dr. Jacalyn, because that is not my forte, and I think it is yours.
Oh, thank you. I can tell you that the editing part, I just can't stand because you can never stop. It's like there's always something else. And, you know, with artificial intelligence, I've been reading a lot about if you're not embracing it, then it's going to be replacing us. I don't think that that's true. But I have found that people either embrace AI as authors or they're completely against it. So which side are you? Are you in the middle of the road?
I'm sort of in the middle of the road. I don't use it tons, but definitely when I need to do research and look up something, it's very helpful that it just gives me that little concise thing on my Google search. If I'm really needing it to be exact, obviously you want to check what AI is telling you. And several of my books were like captured by Chat GPT and things like that. So that's another issue too. We don't want our property, our copyrighted property, to be used by other people in the wrong context. So that's really the only thoughts I have about that. I love that it tells me good answers, but I always double check them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually will give ChatGPT certain information that I know is not correct and see what it does with it. And then I'll even write to it, incorrect. You didn't do your research. Go again and come back with the right answer. Like I'm actually talking to it like it's a person, typing to it like it's a person. But there are many mistakes that it makes, which is interesting. And then there's sometimes that it's really great. It's almost like having a team member that you can count on, but you realize you really can't count on the team member. They're good in certain areas, but not in others. So I'm interested to see where future iterations of AI actually go and the benefits that it can have. At the same time, it reminds me of one of those movies that I don't watch where they have those huge creatures that are like taking over the New York City. And I feel like, okay, I want to get out of town. So I have to just be mindful of that as well. So if you could picture yourself 5 years from now, what will you be doing and how will your life be different or the same?
I hope to be writing new book series. I have, like I said, I have a couple of ideas for new characters. I had to bring in a host of new paranormal, fantastical characters in the finale to the Realm Chronicles series. So I have those to jump off from. And yeah, I just hope to keep writing and keep writing new things.
Wonderful. And thank you again for sharing about your tattoos. And you had shared the one that represents your first series. And you had talked, just briefly touched on the fact that you went through something. There was a period of time that you went through something. And I just wondered, for people who are out there also going through things, what could you share with people when they know that they're experiencing something physically or mentally, and maybe they don't want to share that, they want to keep it inside, and it could literally be eating them up inside?
Yeah, the biggest lesson I learned through that experience is that being human, being vulnerable is what really connects us to other people. Like I felt like if I shared something that was subpar or less than like my best self or less than achieving whatever goal I was achieving, that I would be looked down upon, I would be judged, I would be told I wasn't good enough. And so that made me really isolated, because if you can't share if you have to share like the 120% best or better version of you than you actually are all the time, then you're not really going to share who you really are. You're not going to connect with people. And so the best lesson I learned was just that by opening up, we connect with people, we get to know people authentically, and we can reach out and share our human experience and help each other, support each other. Because I was very isolated and I didn't get help for a really long time. And I wish, your story is your story. And sometimes that's kind of what it takes, unfortunately, but I really don't want other people to hurt that much. So reach out. People love you for who you are. They don't love you for whatever award you can get or what you can become. And that's my major message. Yeah, I think there are people there to help you wherever you are.
That's a great message. I was sharing previously on an earlier show that I recently read something that really stood with me, which is why I'm sharing it again, which is there are pretty much 3 places where it doesn't matter what we have in terms of monetary things or awards or accomplishments, because these three places were all brought down to the same level. And one is a hospital, right? It doesn't matter what you've done, what you've accomplished, how much money you have. You might have more nurses and doctors in private care, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. The second is in a prison. Whatever you've accomplished, right? You're in a lockdown. You have to serve your sentence. And the third is in a cemetery where everyone's dead. So it's about getting your message out there and being real and following your intuition. And so one thing about intuition, I am not a psychic or a medium or an empath, but I've spoken to people who are. And sometimes we have authors come on and they'll say that they don't know if it's their intuition, but they've been guided by something or someone or a spirit or something. Have you ever felt that way?
I definitely feel that, whatever higher power helped me in my journey. And maybe it's just friends that the right friend I reached out to at the right time, and the right person was put in my path to help me along my journey. So I definitely feel there is something like a fourth dimension that we tap into sometimes, and that the right people, whether it's, for some people, it might be religion or God or spirituality or whatever that is. I feel like that energy surrounds us, and probably what we're putting out into the world is what we can attract. And sometimes we're putting out that we need things, and maybe we attract people that can give that to us. And sometimes we're putting out that we can help people. So maybe we attract people that we're supposed to be put in their lives to help them. So I definitely have that spiritual side that I believe that sort of everything is happening for a reason. And that if we are open to that, then we can have our lives enriched that much more by those relationships with people.
Absolutely. I like to think of relationships like a tree. You've got the roots and you've got the branches and you've got the leaves. And sometimes we get all hung up with the leaves, the people who come and the people who go, but yet they served a purpose, and we served a purpose in their life. We might not know what it is, but they're here and then they're gone. And so what I'm really wondering now is, you shared about what you went through, and I can't imagine that because I've never gone through that. And you look back on it and maybe feel a certain way today than you did before. But how did you and how do you maintain grace during difficult situations?
I think grace is just about, forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to be human, as well as allowing other people to be human. So I'm not going to be the perfect person. I'm not going to do the perfect thing. I'm not going to react the perfect way every time. We all have a little bit of selfish traits sometimes, and sometimes that is good because we do need to protect ourselves. But just also putting yourself in those other person's shoes for a minute, like walking in their moccasins, as the Native American or Indian people would say. If someone reacts to me a certain sort of way, and my maybe initial reaction is to get defensive and be offended, and then I'm like, wait, like, I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what their family life is like. I don't know how much they have to work every day. I don't know, like, whatever else is like stresses that are put on their lives. So why am I like judging what they're doing, or judging how much time they have, or judging how short with me they were in the gas line? Yeah, they may have a stress. So just taking a step back, taking a breath, saying, that's been me before. So yeah, I try to take things with a grain of salt and give myself grace as well as other people.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And as we're coming to the end of the show, my question for you is, this show is about iconic women. It's based about goddesses. And so that's power, that's strength. But many people who are watching this, or who will watch this or listen to it, might feel invisible. They might feel unseen. They might feel the exact opposite. And maybe watching the show, they have a judgment about themselves. What would you share with them, to all those people out there? It could be men as well, if they feel unseen, unheard, and invisible?
Yeah, I feel like, it's so much fun being on shows like this, but when it comes down to it, the people I want to be seen by, the people that are important to be seen by, the people that are important to see me are those, close people in your life. So you may not even realize how important you are to your mother, your brother, your sister, your child, the lady at the grocery store who helps you with your groceries every day, the person giving, that you give that extra tip to at the coffee shop. I just think those small interactions, people see you maybe more than people see, and at least get a more genuine connection maybe than something. Not that these aren't wonderful, and I love getting my entertainment and learning from videos. Definitely, I can binge watch all day. But so I think just think about those that are like the really special relationships that you would have on a daily basis.
Absolutely. It's noticing someone, it's giving grace to someone, it's acknowledging someone, because there are definitely occupations that people have. I mentioned to you, there are people cleaning the windows. They're literally on this plank up high,
I couldn't do
leaning
that.
back and forth. And you know what? I'm going to actually look out and go, thank you. Like that's an incredible job that you're doing. But people don't always want to do that. They want to judge someone. Why would they have that career? Why would they be picking up trash? Or why there's so much judgment. So instead of judging, we can just be kind. We can be gracious. We can say, thank you. I see you. You matter. Or how's your day? Something, just acknowledging the humanness in people.
Definitely. Feel like the more you put out into the world is what you're going to get back into the world. Me and my friends have all these little packs now. Like we always start our conversations with 3 gratitude things. And now we've started like manifesting for each other. That one thing that we think about this friend every morning, we say, we're manifesting this idea for this friend, whether it's about relationships or whatever it's about. Just that we're thinking of things in a positive light and putting things, and that just, it can reframe your whole day, your whole week. And how your mindset goes. I feel like what you're putting out, the way you're thinking, is where your life and where your psyche is going to go. So that is really my focus. And I think if you put it out there, it kind of comes back to you.
I love the fact that this is not just a concept. You're actually doing it. I've never heard of anything like this before. That's outstanding.
No, like I have this one friend that we meet up once a week and we're like, okay, what are your 3 gratitude things? And if we can't, and we really check each other. We're like, nope, that was only 2. You have to come up with one more. And then, we just started the manifesting things because somebody was being really negative about something. I'm like, wait. You're putting it out into the world. This is not going to happen by saying it's not happening. Let's put it out into the world that it is going to happen, because you don't know when it could happen. It could happen next week. It could happen next year. It probably will happen. So let's put it out there that it will.
Absolutely. I don't have any children. I know you're a mother, but one of my nephews and his wife, they just had a baby. And when I think about the fact that 1 minute there's a stomach with something in it, and the next minute it's in her arms, and it's like there's definitely something higher, something out there that has created what we have today. And as humans, and what we're doing, that's another story for another day. But I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you being here. I really feel and know you are iconic, and the work that you're doing really matters. How can people reach you, and who would you like to contact you?
Oh, that's super fun. If you're an author, you can contact me about being on my podcast, Finding the Magic Book Podcast by Tricia Copeland, author. My website is Tricia Copeland, author. There it is, or triciacopeland.com. If you're a reader and like fantasy and or romance, then you can sign up for my newsletter where you get 2 free short stories that are have characters like characters in my books. That's a great way to start reading. And I love audiobooks. So 2 of my series, the Kingdom Journals, as well as the Realm Chronicles series, are all on audiobook by amazing narrators. So you can find those on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and mostly wherever you like to read.
All right. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. It's hard to produce. So thank you, Tricia, for being here. I really do appreciate it. I wish you all the best, and come back and see us on another episode of another show.
Thank you so much, Jacalyn. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone out there for watching today. I really do appreciate it. I want to share with you that I'm hosting a retreat. I actually was invited to attend a retreat. It was called Meditation for Leadership, and it took place, I think I was there 3 weeks ago, at the Horseshoe Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina in the United States. And I actually got to meet with the owner, and I met with some of the leadership, and I was so impressed. I decided that I am going to host a retreat. So I'd love to show you a clip about the retreat. But before I do that, I want to share with you that we do have 2 YouTube channels, which I've mentioned before. On the Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck channel, there is a program that is going to be running. It is running daily. I'm doing the show, so I should know that it's running daily. And it's called Let's Finally Talk, a heart-to-heart with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. So you'll only find this on the Dr. Jacalyn channel. So Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And every day I am sharing something with our audience. So I hope you can join. And now I want to just share this video clip about the Horseshoe Retreat. And I'd love to have you consider joining. So it is an incredible experience. And we're going to be offering, obviously, you're going to be enjoying the surroundings. The lodging is amazing. The food at the Silo Cookhouse is incredible. And of course, there is a farm and there are farm animals, and you can experience the outdoors. There's a sweat lodge. We're going to have meditation and yoga. And also we're going to have workshops to help you with your business and to help you build community with other people. So let's take a look, the Horseshoe Farm Retreat, and then we'll be back with our next show. Thank you. Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Horseshoe Farm has always been more than a destination. It's a living, breathing reflection of community, connection, and transformation. Once a humble family farmstead, it has evolved over the years to become a sanctuary for travelers, seekers, families, and friends alike. Originally reimagined by the Turchin family as an Airbnb property, the farm began its journey into hospitality with simple roots, welcoming guests to experience the beauty and peace of the sacred land. As word spread and the vision deepened, the property organically blossomed into a boutique resort, rooted in the values of slow living, intentional experiences, and the magic of gathering. Today, the Horseshoe Farm is a 90-acre experiential retreat that merges hospitality, wellness, and culinary excellence. It is home to the Stable Spa, the Silo Cookhouse, distinctive lodging options, and a curated calendar of events that nourish mind, body, and spirit. Our guest experience is designed to be both grounding and expansive, where the comforts of luxury meet with the simplicity of nature. At its core, the Horseshoe Farm is about transformation of land, of self, and of community. We are proud of where we've come from. We are confident in who we are today and excited for the road ahead. Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, also known as the Listening Mentor and President and Founder of USA Global TV and Radio. I had the opportunity, the pleasure of attending a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm just recently. I was so impressed with all of the opportunities that were presented to me in this glorious setting, as well as the highest level of customer service, that I've decided to put together a retreat at the Horseshoe Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, United States of America, June 3rd through the 6th, 2026. You can expect to have a beautiful time of relaxation combined with learning, community, collaboration. Do consider joining me in this wonderful opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with others, and with nature. For more information, email me at drjacalyn@usaglobaltv.com.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful: The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to TracyCramperkins.com. Tracy Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.